That streaming button
Hit it.
shortly. Hit it. Yeah, we're okay with that, YouTube. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good now. It is regarding 365's 365 message and poof.
Awesome. It is so good to see you, my friend.
Thank you, thank you. It's good to see you. What do you got there in the background on the shelf? Something new. Yeah,
Hat?
yeah, a
Is it
pyramid of
so
hats.
hat?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I'm talking about. No, the thing on the other
No,
side.
you're talking about my new license plate.
Yes,
Ta-da!
very
That's
cool.
to help everyone remember what you're watching as well as what to use on the socials, as it were.
Yeah, that's right. And look, we are doing things a little different today, and not saying that people who aren't there in the chat room, don't stop chatting there. But what we are trying to do is this. Ooh.
Ooh.
We have something I was experimenting with yesterday or late yesterday, exposing the hashtag re365, and you can see Daniel's tweets are appearing there because he's including that in
Ooh,
the
look at
and the
me.
tweet. Yeah, I know. That's right. When I was testing it yesterday via Periscope, we had Laurie jump in and share something. If I go back into, here we go, I can actually control this. We can scroll it
Ooh.
up and down. We can go, oh look, Becky, she mentioned some tweet there about the debate that we had at Ignite. You can scroll on down and see Colab 365 doing the same. So we got a lot of support. And we
Yep.
figure if we get people to mention this while they're watching the show, then their tweets can feature. Does that sound a little dangerous?
It's possible. It's
Yeah,
possible that it's very dangerous.
I've got a plan for that too, Dan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, and I'll show it to
Like
you.
hide them as you go. Okay.
No, no, I'll show it to you. Well, kind of show it to you. You'll have to watch it in the replay because I'm displaying it on a
Okay.
different screen. But in TweetDeck,
Oh.
you can create different columns. And so
Mhm, mhm.
if people get naughty,
Ah,
then I can drag this column over here. And I can maintain a collection of tweets. So I'm looking at the
nice.
live feed and I go, ooh, I like that one. There's Dan and he's live. So let's drag that one up there at the top. Boom. Yep. Nice and
Nice.
safe. No,
Safe.
yeah,
Okay.
safe. That's right. But for now, we'll live dangerously. I'll just drag this column over there.
That's
um,
more like it. I'm like,
yeah.
wait a minute.
Woohoo.
It was safe? That's not what we do.
Yeah, that's we do safe. Yeah, that's right. Safe. You're out. Um,
Yep.
Message center.
Yeah. Yes,
So
sir.
there's
That's why
there's
we're
a few
here.
things on. That's right. There's even a general message or general major update. That
Yep.
was sort of thrown in there at 8th of October. Shall we get into it?
Last week. Yes, sir. Do it.
All right. All right.
This
So,
one. This one is a reminder,
uh huh.
right? This we have talked about this before on the show, of course, because we cover all the wonderful announcements. And this one is the reminding us that they are extending the coverage for anti-spoofing protection to all Exchange Online subscribers. So this is your reminder, and this is the GA is started. So general availability has started and is rolling out. So this is your kind of, hey, just reminder that we talked about this before and now it's coming. I think this is I honestly, and if anybody who's had conversations with me about, email and, oh, email's so horrible, it's still the, kind of the baseline for all communications across all apps, right? In fact, we were just talking about this as an organization, as the regarding team about, what should we use for communications? Okay, let's go with Teams, but what if we miss something? I don't miss something because I'll get an email if I miss it. So it still is that baseline, and I think this is right to kind of remind us about this a little bit of a big change for the email service that we are all using. So,
Mm, mm.
yep.
Look, what I like about this announcement too is it's oh, look, we really do see value in this being shared with those who aren't paying for E5. It's such a valuable feature, and we value security so much that we're going to let E3 have it as well. So
Yep.
good to see that. Let's see a little more of that with some other features too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. You got to draw the line somewhere and offer
that's right.
additional value in the E5s. And it's actually, if you're thinking of Microsoft 365 in a holistic view with enterprise mobile security, and you're dealing with Windows as well, then E5 is the way to go.
Yep.
There you go. I've done my piece there to sell. This
Do you get a
episode was
kickback from that,
sponsored to you
or-
by.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
we tend to talk about Microsoft 365 occasionally.
Occasionally.
Yeah, that's right. But it is considered a major update, so there it is. You've got the reminder. Okay. There's a feature that I'm interested in. I think we can talk about this for a little while.
Okay.
At mentions on pages in comments for SharePoint Online. Now, I haven't seen it live yet on my tenant, but what I'm interested in there is question. Do you think it is the return of SharePoint Social gradually?
I don't think it's the return. Maybe it's the. I don't know.
Well, tell us how it works to start with.
Well, this is the making comments on pages ability, right? We can have that dialogue on a page, news pages, and this is the ability for us to mention someone, saying, "Hey, Susie, check this out. This is awesome, great announcement." Or maybe the announcement is about Susie or whoever, and so we mention, say, "Great job." And this functionality, as long as Susie, now this is an important distinguishing functionality, is as long as Susie has access to the page, she will get a notification that mention has happened. So being able to get those notifications, that's great.
Well, quick question there, Dan. Does that mean that you can mention someone who doesn't have permission to the site? We haven't even explored that. We can.
Well, I believe so. I believe that is exactly what it is, because especially in this announcement, I haven't that functionality has not been discussed or demoed, right?
Yeah.
But in this announcement, it says if they don't have access, they won't get that notification.
Good.
So I'm using an ergo.
Yeah. So they'll get something that triggers the notification, but the notification won't be sent to them. You can mention their name, but they won't know about it.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
I'm looking forward to exploring this one when it comes.
Yep. So Suzanne in the chat room says evolution of social, maybe. That's kind of where I was thinking. I didn't really want to say that because I don't think it's evolution. I don't know, because we've had news feeds and such in SharePoint, but it didn't have this mention. I think we've had these commenting, so it's been there. It's just enhancing what's been there. But I can see something. We were talking about. I can see a news item gets posted. All right. So what if you have the functionality set up to where that post goes to Teams, right? So now it's in a channel, hey, there's this SharePoint news item. Where do you have that kudos? Like if you're going to say, hey, Susie, good job. Do you do that in Teams channel, or do you do it in the SharePoint page itself? And, @mention Susie. And I think, this is one of those conundrums or something where we're like, I don't know, what should I use? And, what do you think about that, Daryl? What should I, in that situation, what should I use?
Well, I'm just keeping true to the goal here that it is about creating discussion about the content on the page. And if it means mentioning Susie because she's also in the article, imagine it's a news article and it's writing about Susie and something awesome that she's done for the company. And then she's mentioned in the comments and everyone's saying, good job, Susie, or hey, Susie, how did it feel when you're actually doing this? And then she can respond and say, well, @Daniel, It is about keeping true to the form of that discussion, the reason why it's there. We have other services out in the wide world outside of Microsoft 365 which provide discussion at the bottom of pages, things like a service called Discuss, or maybe it's been inbuilt. Mm-hmm. So I'm okay with other options. And this is probably another bigger talk, which you and I sort of feel quite strongly about. Giving people choice is not a bad thing, as long as you're giving guidance and governance.
Right.
But it does.
I kind of relate. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say the immediate question is, okay, well, if this has been offered, what about Yammer? And is this really offering a alternative? Because some organisations won't use Yammer, can't use Yammer, don't like Yammer. Yeah, no, that's really true. Some people don't. Some organisations just don't.
I agree with you. This is one of those. It's choice, and choice is not bad. Enhancing a choice, doesn't mean that Microsoft is saying, okay, now you need to switch to SharePoint Social, get rid of all the other social. That's not what's happening here. They're just enhancing one of the options for commenting on news, right? When I heard about this functionality that it was coming, my thought process went to when one of your friends has a birthday, how do you congratulate them? Or like, how do you say, happy birthday to them? How do you do it, Daryl?
Well, first of all,
let's say it's my birthday. Let's say it's my birthday.
Let's say it's your birthday.
How do you say happy birthday?
Firstly, I know it off by heart, so I don't need to depend on things like Facebook or calendars, okay? Just a biological trigger goes off and it says, oh, it's Daniel's birthday. And I go, no, wait, is it today or is it tomorrow in US land? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then I don't know, I'm the kind of person that I don't usually drop it on a public page. I like to contact people personally over Messenger or something directly. So I'll send that. But if I was to do it publicly, it would be on a social platform that all our friends share.
So this is exactly the kind of thought process that I think a lot of people go through is, okay, I know it's one of my friends' birthday, so I want to say happy birthday. Well, on Facebook, it can prompt you in the middle of the day or whatever, say, hey, it's somebody's birthday. So you could post on their wall, right, their Facebook wall. You could send them a Facebook Messenger message. You could tweet them, right? You could DM them on Twitter.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
LinkedIn is now telling you when people's birthday is. So you could say happy birthday on LinkedIn. You could send them an email. You could call them. So there's so many choices. And you're not going to blast on all of them, are you? I mean, you're not going to hit me up 6 or 7 times saying happy birthday. So that was my first thought when I'll
tell you why it depends. Because sometimes it's important to save face and show that I'm present across all these social platforms. So I'm going to copy and paste that same clever quote and drop it in there. And you know what I'm talking about.
But I do. And so that's where I'm going to is, how I'm going to wish you happy birthday? I'm going to wish you happy birthday through the medium we most communicate with. Which, right now maybe Facebook Messenger or something, maybe Twitter DM or whatever. However we communicate most, that's how I'm going to communicate, my well wishes.
What room are you in and what room are you going to visit often? I see you in reception, so I'm going to leave you the balloons there.
This sounds like a blog post. Nobody blog this. I'm going to blog this. I think this is a great analogy of,
it's perfectly okay. Yeah. Oh, and look, just another quick mention. If you want to join that conversation on Twitter as well, just drop in a hashtag and say hashtag Re365 and what you think. Yeah, as you can see on screen there, we will feature your tweet. And not to say don't keep chatting in the chat room over there on YouTube. We have Dean Gross, we have Phil Worrell, we have Max Fritz and Suzanne Hunt. But yeah, and those of you who are watching this later, do drop in that hashtag.
Yeah.
I think it's a good analogy there.
And if you have any comments about Daryl's, facial,
fluff.
Fluff.
Facial
then,
fluff.
Throw that in there too.
Yeah, I think Jethro called it very grungy. Grungy.
Was that a compliment or?
No, I take it as a compliment.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Good,
My
good.
my daughter said, "Oh, look, it's looking a bit patchy. You can't tell whether you've got like a moustache over here or whether it's white hair." I'm like, I'm not going to color it. It's not my thing.
Don't do that.
No.
All right.
I did want to have a quick look and see if this
Sure.
thing was live in my tenant. So I've jumped on over here to a landing page. Do you think the font's changed recently? I think there's something different about the font. It sort of feels a bit cleaner, or maybe it's because I've blown it up.
Daryl,
Mm.
could you do me a favor before the chat room just blows up? Could you say hi, Sarah?
Oh, hello, Sarah. Hi.
Okay,
I
continue.
didn't scroll back.
Yeah,
You could put
continue. Go
hashtag
ahead.
Re365 Daryl forgot me in Twitter. Oh man.
All right, keep going.
All right.
We're good.
Okay, so let's add some news.
Okay.
Let's drop in some happy birthday, Daniel.
Oh gosh.
Why not?
Okay.
I should actually do this in our Regarding 365 tenant.
You should, so I could actually interact with you, but
Yeah,
it's okay.
Let's live dangerously and go look for an image, and just expect that when I go to File Picker, it's going to go to the right folder. And no, that's all about me. What's going on there? Jeez. Have you noticed too? And we could use this as another discussion point. If you
Yeah.
are synchronizing your OneDrive, your camera to your OneDrive, you might have noticed in a few months,
Whoa.
actually recently, that it's now splitting it out by year and month.
Yes,
Let
it
me
is.
just sort of grow that a little. Yeah, so you see year, and I was used to having it all being dropped into the camera roll, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, where's it all going? So we can go back to September. What? What are
I
you
don't like
signed
it.
for? You
I don't
don't?
like it. No.
Oh, bother. I just opened up the picture with... double clicked on it. It's baby Adun. Sorry, that's our Prime Minister. Sorry about that. So maybe it's baby Adun's birthday. She was actually on the same flight as me when I came back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't like the functionality because and it's the same with like when you have folders in a SharePoint library, you can't see everything all at once. I would rather have all of my folders so I can scroll and find that one photo. I actually would like both. And so I guess if I want to find a photo like that, I have to go to OneDrive Online, that shows all the photos all at once. But anyway.
Let's post that news.
Oh, my.
Nice. I don't know
Who's
when
that?
that photo was taken. I think it was at the park.
Uh,
So I've got a happy
So-
birthday Daniel page
no, it's on the
Yeah.
bus. On the bus to the
on
park.
the bus. And we have comments. And
On the bus away from the park. That's when that was.
Dan.
But it's not in my tenant. It doesn't work.
Yeah, not mine yet either. But that's how it would work. You get the
Yep.
idea. Add Dan.
Sure.
All right. So back to messages because we have others to talk about.
We do.
Where did everything go? There it is.
Enlightened. Let's all get enlightened.
Well, look, I don't know much about this, but it sounds like it was a post out of being responsible. That we noticed something that was wrong with it, and we're fixing it, and we just wanted you to know about that. Did you know about it?
I didn't know about it, but I think what's interesting here is this post sticks out like a sore thumb, doesn't it? From the other post, and that I think it is something where they said, we introduced this issue. It's a widespread issue, so we're going to let everyone know. But it's just it's odd. This is more something that I would expect to see on the issue side rather than on the message side. Under the service requests, or the issues for service outages.
Mm-hmm. And it is actually the kind of detail that some of us want to see in the message center. I think Dean's often said, this is the kind of detail that we want to see. If we've got true visibility of what's coming, what's happening, what's going on, and it's specific to my tenant, then I do want to know when something's been released and has been backpedaled or let slip. I want that kind of visibility. Not always easy to do that.
I think no, and I think actually what I understand what what he's saying and how that could be beneficial. What I would like to see really is the ability to, I want to create my own palette, my own
Mm.
view of everything that's going on. I want to say, if there's messages in the message center about this, this, and this, put them in my in the role. And if there's service outages, if there's all whatever, I want to put it all
Mm.
in one. It's like an inbox for me, but kind of gleaning from each area what I want to see. I
Mm.
think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think I
Maybe I'm
like
the only one,
Phil's.
but I think
Well, I like Phil's point about it. Is it really more of a health issue, not a message center message?
right. And I think it is a health issue, and so
Mm.
I'm really surprised. Personally, I think it is. So I'm really surprised to see it here.
Hmm.
I don't know.
All right. Um, what else have we got? We have got create a reminder in SharePoint Online.
Yep. This is if you have a date. This new functionality. If you have a date column in your SharePoint list, then you can create a reminder based upon that date. And this is using Flow, Microsoft Flow. And so if you don't have Flow, you don't have the capability of using it. Like if you're in one of the government clouds, maybe that still doesn't have Flow, maybe, then you're definitely not going to be able to use this functionality. But that's what it's using to be able to say, based on this date, I want to get a reminder 2 days before or whatever. So if you have this is filling a need, I think, although it's not as advanced as you might want, but that need of, I've got a lot of records, or I've got contracts or licenses that I need to renew. I want to be reminded about those things, so I put a due date on them, or I put a date of when they expire. I want to be reminded of all of them. It's great. It's good functionality, and I think it does fulfill some need when normally we've run a workflow based upon that. You can go in to SharePoint and say, run a traditional SharePoint workflow based upon this date, minus 7 days or whatever, and back from and run it that way. So it's cool. I mean,
Yeah,
these are the holes that Flow needs to fill before
Yep.
before people are going to say, I'm done with SharePoint workflow, whether that's out of the box or SharePoint Designer workflow, and I'm going to move to Flow, right? And no more of that, no more SharePoint workflow, all Flow. Then I'm going to need to have that functionality. I'm going to need to have those things where I'm going to be able to, kick off workflow based upon a date. So this is one of those.
Yeah, no, I can see when it's like a basic asset management or a list where you're wanting to review something. And let's say that it is around the publishing of pages within your intranet. You're wanting to make sure that content is fresh. So you can kick off this workflow and make sure that in 6 months' time, if that's appropriate period for that kind of content, you'd use that column. And that's one use. Which helps to drive a fresh and wonderful intranet. Fresh.
Yep. Fresh.
That's right.
I don't know. Just did that.
Yeah, no, I like that. What else have we got? I'm such a
One
bad
more.
influence on you. Microsoft Teams help experience. Now, can I ask how many of you? Let's do this online, okay? I know that you're in the chat room, but please go into Twitter and either respond to one of our tweets if you look up hashtag Re365, or Dan, let's even ask this question in the chat.
Okay.
New tweet.
Maybe we should put up a poll.
We could.
Here, let me put up a poll right now. What's the poll?
Poll in Twitter.
Poll in Twitter. What is the question?
Who is sad to see?
Sad to see T-Bot.
Microsoft Teams, T-Bot, yeah. Leave.
T-Bot. Leave.
Yeah.
Leave?
Leave? Well, leaving. It is leaving, right?
Well, yes, but maybe say being killed. Okay, maybe not.
No, let's not be so dramatic.
A little, and then the third choice is going to be what's T-Bot?
What's T-Bot? I
Okay, here we go.
And it disappeared. All right.
Okay,
Send it.
here it goes. Who is sad to see Microsoft Teams T-Bot leave the service? leave. Okay, just leave. Tweet. All right, everybody go out there to hashtag RE365. You're going to see that tweet and
poll.
Vote on the poll.
There. Oh, look, see, I can vote on the poll even in TweetDeck. I have found that some of the stuff that you click on tends to go and blows out my... okay, so am I sad to see it leave? Look,
everybody go out there.
While I've got the votes there, let's talk about that. I think that T-Bot was people's first introduction to a bot that they could use in Microsoft Teams, which is one of the pivotal things about Teams, that it's intelligent conversation, bringing things in, having a chat with something to get conversation. And actually, it's only recently that I've started doing that in earnest, I guess. I wanted to start a poll in one of our conversations in regarding 365, so I tried Polly. And then Brad Grissom introduced me to @mention forms, which felt like it worked a bit better. But both were bots. Both came back and created a poll for us based on the question that we asked and the options that we wanted to put out there. Oh, look, we've got 3 votes already. So T-Bot was that first introduction. But did I use it to get help with Teams? Maybe I just tried it just to see what it would come back with. Did you use it at all?
I did. And so I used it extensively. And here's how I used it. I would go in there and say, T-Bot, tell me what my next meeting is. And it would say, I can't help you with that, but ask me Teams questions. And I would say, okay, thinking, hey, tell me what's my next Teams meeting. I can't help you with that, but ask me. I'm like, okay, forget it. I wanted it to be my personal assistant. And it really was just there to help. And so I think that's what this transition is saying, okay, we're going to go to more of a help model that we've been using before. I mean, that's what I think anyway. But
yeah, on a project recently, I experienced a similar kind of thing as I tried to guide people to what I thought would have been a helpful behavior and offering help in scenarios rather than products. But I was asked, look, can you reshape that to focus on products? So yes, if you want help with Outlook, you'll find the Outlook page, not the communications page that helps to go through scenarios.
Yeah.
And while we can introduce people to a different way of working or a different way of thinking, that could help them get to a better answer. This is what's happened with T-Bot. People are like, it's just there, and actually it keeps messaging me, or it keeps. I'm getting a bit stressed out about seeing that one unread message that a bot has asked me in chat. And yeah.
Make sure everybody, if you vote in it, make sure you retweet it as well so other people can vote.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. Yep. So I think if they're going back to traditional help, it's likely to be a page. Maybe go through to support.office.com, which I just can't say enough good about those guys.
Yeah, I agree. But I also think it could also be part of the search experience. And so Microsoft Search. So being able to say, you just go to the search bar and type what you're trying to do instead of going to T-Bot, right? And it's going to surface content not only for your organization, but also from Bing. Why can't it be help?
That's true. I mean, you should see help in there for all products. In fact, Dan, I think you're onto something. They're talking about bringing in a site collection, and here you go, here's all the articles, but what if it was brought in a search way? And I don't know if they talked about this or announced it at Ignite, but that just feels like the natural way to do it. You go to the search box wherever you've got, wherever you're working. Gosh. What?
I've got a great idea.
I know, and you're not even going to get paid for it.
I'm not going to get paid for it. So I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
I was going to say microsoftsearch.uservoice.com. It probably exists, but good. Now you're dead.
No, but so we started this this conversation about creating a resource community within your organization about
Mm.
products, which is help, self-service help, and the session that Sarah Hazy and I put together was around flow. So I gave that one at Ignite, but think the idea was not just flow; it was other products, other things, and Teams could most certainly be one of those. So create a resource community inside your organization and then surface that content when people start searching, and along with others. That doesn't have to be the only resource, but then your own content that's been created. How do I do this? It's like the number one question within our organization because it pertains to us,
Mm.
right? If they go in and say, how do I hook up the system TRS to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, who's TRS? That's an acronym for a product, something that's proprietary to us. Well, that would be great to surface through, like you're saying, a site collection within our own organization where we created that content.
Mm.
I think that would be slick.
That content is going to appear because it'll go to a search and see, oh, look, everyone's got permission to do that, so it'll surface it. But also, would it be great if we could tag that and say, this is a help article? So it's not just any old SharePoint page that's been thrown into the results, but you have this sectioned kind of predictive area that you've got people, you've got content, you've got help. And it'll pull out the help that you've tagged in your content in your organization, and also Microsoft's help, so that you've got two authoritative sources. And we're creating a product as we go.
I know. No one make that. We got to make that this afternoon. So nobody do that.
Yeah, I'll get right on it. Let's that poll that we've got there just before we close off for the day. Thanks everyone for voting, and continue to share it, vote about it, talk about it in the thread. I like where this is going. I actually think that the poll thing has worked quite well in exposing Twitter. But thanks to everyone else in the YouTube chat, which you will see when the video comes back and you watch the replay. It is all there. I just thought that maybe we'd try something new and encourage some Twitter conversation.
Yeah.
So was there anything else? I think there was one other thing. I know that we're 2 minutes over. Let me just get... sorry.
I'll just quickly mention the search schema problem that we mentioned last week has not been fixed yet.
Oh. That's significant.
Yeah. It's supposed to be this week. We'll see.
Don't have it on that. There was a conversation that I saw in the tech community which caught my eye, and it was in Teams. Whoops. Tappity, tap, 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 tap. Oh, come on now.
You replaced my image with your... oh, my word.
Yeah, we're all Polish here, remember? Yeah, we do a perfect show, and if we were on CNN or the Tonight Show or something, then I'm sure that we'd get caned for that. So this discussion was about video meetings in Chrome for Teams, and this is something that I kind of hoped was going to be announced at Ignite. That a fuller support in the browser for the meeting experience, not just that we can join a meeting and get something of it, but we'd have full video and audio. And so the question had been asked before Ignite. We did get an answer, which was a bit further down here. Kurowana was saying, look, because there's some new comments, she jumped into the conversation. It's people still have a choice of choosing which browser. Like, yes, it is supported in Edge, but they're really still quite strong in saying use the desktop client. Look, the Chrome support is on the backlog, but we're not seeing it as the optimal or best experience. That'd be another good one for a poll or another conversation, because I'd be keen to see the full support in Chrome browser, especially from a consultant experience, that I use these different profiles. I'd be able to join a meeting without having to sign into a client. But you might have some other scenarios, like maybe you're from an education environment and everyone's got Chromebooks. So yeah, look, just as that last pointer there, do go to the tech community and engage in some of these conversations. They're not all about feature requests or requests for help where you might have the answer, but there are also questions like this. How do things work?
Yeah.
Wow, people are still voting. That's awesome. 16 votes. So, anything from you, Dan, before we close out?
No, that's it.
Let me go. I've got to go.
We do have something in the works for the first week of December, right? So
Yes.
That's going to be exciting. We'll firm all that the plans up and send that out so that the people that can want to participate can. But yeah.
Are you just going to leave it like that and be mysterious?
Oh yeah, totally mysterious.
Because I just felt the urge to let it slip, but that's all right. It's all right. Let's just say it's nice to be
let's not
at events.
Let's not say things, Daryl, because you're going to give it away. You're not good at keeping secrets. Stop it.
Okay, stop it. All right. That was our people today. This is regarding 365 tonight from the 365 Visit Center. Bye for now.
Bye.